Welcome to Tiger Wolf. I'm Josh, and this is David.
Please be aware, this podcast contains strong language and spoilers.
Star Wars, Episode 9. The real force is the friends we made along the way.
All right, how are we breaking this one down?
I told you we should have discussed that before the episode, but no, we didn't talk about it before the episode.
Yeah, because we usually lose our best stuff by talking about it prior to the episode.
Fair. Obviously, we're going to spoil the whole fucking movie. Okay? I mean, we have the warning. This is your second warning. Okay. So, we got to do it out of him, but that was it. I half expected his response to what do you want in exchange from Kylo Ren to be unlimited power. You know, it would have fit.
Man. All right. This one's storytelling flowed a lot better to me than the previous one.
Oh, yeah. It
didn't feel like any of this was not needed. Some of the things could have been shortened.
Well, I think, I like experiencing the universe as much as the story. So, could I have, a little bit longer of that sneaky around sequence in the town and stuff like that? Fuck yes, because I like shit like that. I like stealth games and stuff.
Yeah.
So that could have been really cool if that was a lot longer. A bit longer.
I really enjoyed the jumping. The hyperspace jumping.
Oh.
I'm like, yes!
This fight's going to take place in 7 different situations.
7 different locales. Get ready. What do you mean? You are not... Pow!
Poor Chewbacca. Not including the droids. He's the only one left.
He's outlived
Han, Luke, Leia.
Oh, Lando. Lando's still there.
He wasn't part of the...
No, he came in
crew.
Empire, and all of the enjoyable stories involving Lando and the gang no longer exist in canon.
But now it's curious what,
I did like the fact that
does
back.
Does Chewbacca finally go back to his wife and kid on Kashyyyk and celebrate another holiday with them?
God, can we not? Why couldn't you wipe that from canon?
Because it was a
Disney.
movie, and they said any movies.
Why couldn't you wipe that from canon? It or the old Droids TV show or the Ewok show, and I liked the Ewok show. Oh, God.
Had a much smaller footprint than what they needed to wipe out.
Yeah. Anything after Return of the Jedi?
Well, that's not necessarily true. Also before.
True. One of my favorite books and one of my other favorite smugglers is not canon, but his ship is canon.
He's not canon yet. I'm sure somebody's going to write about Dash Rendar.
Probably not.
So what you're saying is, for SWTOR, you want me to make Dash Rendar so you can finally meet your hero?
Never meet your heroes.
Always
Look what happened to Rey.
To who?
Look what happened to Rey.
Well, who was her hero?
I did like that. That little, the little nod. When she finally meets Luke, looks at the saber, throws it over his shoulder, and And then in this, she goes to throw the saber into the fire, and he's like,
A Jedi's
weapon should be treated with more respect.
I feel like her struggle with the dark side in this one, while it was cool, wasn't necessary.
It was necessary for toy sales. That double lightsaber flip thing
cool.
is gonna sell,
dude.
So
I
much.
want a lightsaber butterfly knife.
Like, it's gonna be really interesting to see them make that a legacy saber at Galaxy's Edge.
That's a big ask, I think. All right, let's start from the top. Top.
All right, let's stop.
This is all you because I don't remember the beginning of the movie.
All right, so it picks up with Kylo being a complete badass.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Using all of his saber, which I actually really like.
He's done that before too. He stabbed with the little
the exhaust
catchers.
The exhaust. Yeah. I like the way he moved more in this one. Like, he was more used to wielding that lightsaber.
So it feels like before he didn't really have a style as such, and in this one he was wielding it like a Jedi Knight.
Yeah.
I like the
fact that both of them kept doing the flipping it back thing. Maybe that's just because I'm a huge fan of Star Wars Force Unleashed.
Well, they both. I kind of like, because we're fans of like the old KOTOR games and stuff. So I kind of have a gripe in the fact that they both fought like knights.
Yeah.
It makes sense.
But at this point, I think that's the only fighting style left.
It makes sense for Kylo because he learned from Luke, and Luke learned by fighting his father, who was a knight.
Yeah. Well, I mean, she was more than likely taught by Leia. At least to some extent. Who was taught by Luke.
At least to some extent.
Yeah. So, I mean,
I think they figured a lot of things out together, which I really liked.
I like that callback.
I really like that they actually made it canon that Leia did train to be a Jedi.
Yeah, I'm really glad they brought that back into canon.
I'm kind of sad that she gave up the Jedi life because she saw that her son was going to fall to the dark side.
What's that? What's that thing?
Or didn't they say eldest son? They said that, didn't they?
See, now you got me questioning. I don't know.
Didn't they?
I don't. No.
Or first son or something like that.
They said first son.
That doesn't mean she didn't have others. I know we're supposed to be done with the Skywalkers.
Not a Skywalker. Technically, they got married. They're solos.
Yep.
She was
each one of them was always by themselves.
She was also actually not a Skywalker.
Yeah, but at the same,
adopted. She was an Organa.
Sure, but Kylo Ben is a Skywalker. Otherwise, he wouldn't be able to do the things he did.
Ben Solo.
He's got mitochondria out the ass.
Yes, but he's Ben Solo.
He has Ben Solo. You are correct. That's because he keeps killing his family.
Yep. They said they were done with these Skywalkers.
I thought it was interesting to skip ahead. The whole, like, his change. It's like when he felt what could only be light side, the healing, he realized, like, the fuck have I been doing? And it was also the moment he lost his mother. And he felt that.
His last anchor.
And I feel like he probably thought that was going to go the other way for himself. Like, once she's gone, then I don't have anything else.
I will be
able to finally be full Sith.
Yeah,
but the thing is, the Skywalkers can't be full Sith. It's not in their blood. As much as Sith is in their blood,
it's in someone else's bloodline.
Well, No, I mean saying that that's the only choice they have or whatever because of their bloodline is absolutely stupid. That's not how the Force works.
No, it's not.
For one,
I also
two, there's only been one other that we know of in that bloodline.
I mean, we know of 3: Palpatine, his son, and
well, okay, and his son wasn't anything
that we know
that
of.
we saw.
Yeah. But
he did absolutely nothing to not die, so I'm guessing he wasn't anything.
Maybe. I mean, the guy that was going after them was a Jedi hunter.
Huh?
So maybe he was more focused on using whatever stuff he had to make sure he couldn't find his daughter.
I mean, leaving her alone on Jakku.
Yeah. But I mean, to be fair, his Palpatine's son probably may have been Force sensitive.
Really wish you watched
but was
Letterkenny. They say to be
trained.
Fair, but like they get to a point where they notice that they say it so much, so they whenever somebody says it, they're like, "To be fair, to be fair." You really need to watch Letterkenny. More Letterkenny. I know I've introduced you to it.
Yeah, I need to watch more.
Oh my god, it's so good. All right. So, story beats, basic story beats, are pretty standard for a Star Wars film, I feel.
Yeah,
we just had the quote unquote Jedi and the quote unquote Sith apprentice, because it's usually an apprentice that they fight.
Yep.
In the movies so far, meet up more than the once per film that you usually get. Or potentially twice. There's the last film. No, not the last one. The second one from the original trilogies. Did he meet up with Vader twice?
No.
Oh, we have the other heroes meet up with Vader, and then he comes and he shows up.
Yep. I did like the fact that we got 3, 4 saber fights.
Yeah, we got 3 with just 2.
It was 2 with Rey and
2 with Rey and Kylo.
Because there was the one when they were in the Vision fighting each other, which that connection's still really fucking weird, but really cool.
Well, no, it makes sense, right? Palpatine was part of. So the lore of how Anakin came to be, if you're not familiar, is that Palpatine and his master,
Darth Plagueis,
tried to create a baby basically out of midichlorians. And Anakin's mom became pregnant with no father.
Mm-hmm.
They state that in the first movie.
Yep.
That was the connection there, but a lot of people didn't realize that, so they were like, oh, he's Jesus. No, he's Anakin Skywalker. That's exactly where this comes from. In these stories. It came from the books. Well, I mean, no. Well, it came from in the books and in the whole past of Plagueis, and Palpatine, the P's.
Yes.
P and P, PP. And that's what Palpatine recognizes when he meets up with Anakin. He's like, you actually exist. I thought we failed.
We did the thing. Oh yeah, I killed him. We did the thing.
Right. He's like, that's why he was so focused on doing what he could to turn Anakin dark. Because he could feel it, man. That dude had all the midichlorians.
Yeah.
And that's basically what Qui-Gon notices when he tests him for it.
Yep. This kid is off the scale.
Yeah. Yeah. And that continued down their family line. But to be fair, fucking Palpatine apparently has a lot of shit going on there too.
I feel like he unlocked some. There's something there he unlocked. I'm pretty sure.
Was it the silk robe?
That was so fucking weird.
Right? He was just in the black robe, and then he's like, I'm going to eat your souls.
Boom. Silk.
Red
silk.
Could they have made it any closer relation to Mortal Kombat? That was Shang Tsung all over the place.
Finish him.
Your brother's soul is mine.
Great. Now that song's going to be stuck playing in my head the rest of
Test
the
your mic?
fucking day. Yes.
We're jumping all over the place.
Yep.
So it has a very good like adventure thing going on that they really failed at on the second one of the series
Yeah.
on 8. Just because that one felt contrived. This one felt legitimate, just like the first one did. So thank you, Jabrams. For knowing the feel for Star Wars and being able to do it.
Yeah. So,
and then it turns into those epic battles. Like,
yeah,
they're along the way because that whole that sequence, division sequence connection that they had.
Yeah.
Oh wait, that's what I was getting on about, and I completely forgot. So that would be their connection, probably. Is that this one's grandfather and this one's grandfather were connected by one of them summoning the other one into existence.
So basically,
yes,
Palpatine is actually a demonologist, and Anakin is a devil?
No, demonologist studies devils. Demons.
Demons, devils.
Well, I mean, in D&D, they're different things.
Yes, that's the reason I specified a devil.
No. This is more like
Anakin was much more lawful than he was chaotic.
It's more like Darth Plagueis was the demonologist. Palpatine was the apprentice going, we could just summon one and we can find out all the things. And Plagueis eventually goes, well, we could just summon one and learn all the things.
Let's see what happens.
Yeah, no, it's like it's an interesting story. Like the overall story of Skywalkers, right?
Yeah. From episode 1 to episode 9.
Yeah.
I mean, there's
it's excuse me. It's Anakin and his legacy, kind of. Yeah. But that's what I was saying, is that they don't, like, the dark side isn't inherent. They're just emotional people.
Yeah.
And I don't think that's a genetic thing. Maybe it is. I don't know.
I subscribe to the fact that I'm one of those individuals that I don't think there really is necessarily a light side and a dark side.
Well,
I think there's just the Force, and your intent as a
yes and no
is where that comes from.
Yeah, yes and no, right? So there are things that you can only do from the dark side and things that you can only do from the light side. Because of the way you have to do it, you have to either be in an emotional heightened state or in a calm state. And that's what those essentially are. So like healing, you have to be in a calm state. Because the book where Vader learned how to do it from anger doesn't exist anymore in canon.
Yep.
But it also calmed him, so it was still a calm state based thing.
Yeah.
The lightning, heightened emotional state. That's really what the difference is.
Revan could do that in the book. In his book, he could do that in a calm state. But Revan also was trained as both. He was trained as a Jedi, fell, became enthralled and trained by a Sith, was betrayed by Revan's apprentice, and then retrained as a Jedi.
Well, no, him and Malik went and learned about the Sith.
Yeah, they were captured by the Empire, the Emperor at the time of the Sith Empire, and he was corrupted further from
on the out. No, but I mean
Jedi.
like the actual Sith, like on the outer world rim.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just making sure we're talking about the same thing.
Not the religion, but the I don't know if the Eternal Emperor is actually one of the biological Sith or not.
Well, so if I remember right at that
Right
time,
offhand.
and I don't know if this is still canon anyway, if I remember right at that time, the Sith Empire that was on the Outer Rim was mixed breed Sith and full blood Sith, and the full blood Sith were the ones that led the Empire at the time.
Yeah.
And they were basically taken in and taught their ways of brutality, basically, and like.
I mean, to be fair, I'm pretty sure that both of those two were pretty brutal beforehand.
Well, yeah, you don't fight. You don't win. You don't win a war against Mandalorians without it. Okay. The only way you win a war against Mandalorians without brutality is, I don't know. You get them all on one planet and shoot the planet real quick. Still seems kind of brutal to me. Oh, I liked the planet destruction thing. It was very original trilogy, the way it blew up.
Yeah.
Like, it looked like it was a mixture of practical and like After Effects.
Yeah.
But like, it was hard to tell.
Yeah. All right. Is there anything else from the movie you thoroughly enjoyed? Like anything that sticks out as like, all right, that was nice. I really like that.
I like that we saw actual. I have mixed feelings about this one. Actually, is the power scale for the Force that they have in this one?
Yeah,
they definitely went the way of the Force Unleashed. As far as like and the Fallen Jedi,
Fallen Order
or whatever, yeah. As you mentioned. But I mean, that actually puts it in perspective because there's a certain point in Vader's what's the term?
Repertoire,
like his life, his career, his
existence.
No, no. You're probably not going to guess the word because it doesn't have anything to do with career or existence. It's like when you've mastered something in a school level and then you become not an alumni, but whatever teachers get. I forget. Cannot think of it right now.
PhD?
No. No, that's not what I'm talking about. Anyway, there's a point in his history where he's
accolades.
No, accolades or something are like rewards.
No, damn, I tried.
Where he is very powerful, like very powerful. At the same time, the stuff they show Ben doing made it like he's definitely on Vader's level.
Yeah.
Which is kind of unsettling, really. Because like there's this whole focus on how powerful Vader was. But at the same time, we never really see him do it because Disney has not yet made the movie where he goes and hunts Jedis down.
They're not gonna give us that movie. They're not going to.
So
it would
much.
be amazing. Just like I stand by the fact that if they made that movie, the end, it's him and like a lone stormtrooper that's still alive. And the stormtrooper turns to him and says, "We have the location of Ben Kenobi." And Vader looks at him, breaks his neck, and erases the data.
Because it was on higher ground.
Yes.
I mean, like, very possible.
Obi-Wan
but at the same time, I feel like Vader he only used a little bit of his force power to be intimidating to people who can't. Because that's all it took.
Yeah.
He's like, if they only knew what I could really do, they wouldn't be able to listen to what I have to tell them to do.
Yeah. There was a lot of Vader in Ben in this last movie.
Which there should have been.
I don't mean that as in, he was evil, but the way he did things was very
Well, yeah, once he got his mask back, he went to being Kylo, who was pretty much a badass. Like, admittedly, it's remember we talked about this before,
It's like
whenever he had the helmet off in the first movie with him, he wasn't the same person.
No.
He wasn't able to be that very focused individual who
could stop a fucking blaster bolt
from a ship
midair.
But at the same time, you have, like, historically Vader choking one of the people and it being a very intimidating moment. He's lifting him off of the floor. And then in this, Ben basically grabs the dude by the throat and then slams him up against the ceiling.
And leaves him there, not holding his hand out. Places both his hands on the table. And the dude is still there.
That's just a matter of focus, really. The hand thing is just a matter of focus.
Yeah, I know. It's just...
But at the same time, I would not believe somebody who told me that Vader wouldn't have been able to do that. All I think it was that Vader didn't need to.
Yeah. People were...
Because you see him toss people around like that and hold a guy against the ceiling as he kept walking and cut him at the end of Rogue One.
Yep.
So we know Vader's capable of that stuff. He just didn't need to do it with his own people.
Yeah.
How do you feel about Hux being the spy?
His reasoning made sense to me.
It made sense to me too.
I was like, okay, I can take that. I can
Well,
take
because he went from potentially being the Supreme Leader
to be
like in contention with Kylo to Kylo being the Supreme Leader, and now suddenly there's other people higher than him because he went and found Palpatine.
Yeah.
And Palpatine does not give a fuck who this Hux fucker is.
Nope. But yeah, this movie did give me one of those moments. And that was when Lando comes over the radio and is like, there's enough of us. And Poe flies up and you just see a fleet.
No, it's not a fleet. It's just...
And I'm like...
people.
Oh. I was like, okay. Part of me wants to, like, get that when it comes out on DVD, freeze frame it and see if I can find any Easter eggs, because there had to have been some.
Like a Firefly or
Firefly, the Ghost, which is the name of the ship from Rebels, maybe fucking dude's ship from the Mantis from Fallen Order. Maybe Dash's ship was up there too.
It looks a lot like the Millennium Falcon. It looks a lot like it.
It's a different variant of the Corellian freighters, which is what the Falcon is.
Yeah, that was interesting. I don't know how I feel about that. I think it feels like JJ did that specifically because who was the other director for 8?
Rian Johnson.
Had nobody show up to help them before.
Yeah, I think so. Probably.
He's like, that's not how this is supposed to go, bud.
That's not how Star Wars is.
That's not right.
You hit the low point and then everybody stands up.
And there was a lot of flip-flopping there too. At that low point, it was a little like, it felt a little bit like a fish out of water trying to figure out what it wanted to do.
Yeah,
because it was like, ha-ha, 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 ha-ha.
Am I actually going to let them loose? Maybe I should for once. That's the end of the Skywalker line. They fail. No, I can't do that. I should do that. No. Yes, no. All right, well, we're gonna kill the last Skywalker.
At least this time we saw Palpatine die.
We're gonna kill the last Skywalker.
Like actually get completely obliterated.
Dusted. Thanos?
It was all of him. And his throne. And most of that place.
Building.
Was that like supposed to be a Sith world? Like historically,
see that
I was trying to see.
Irritated me because they said Sith world, and I'm like, are they going to use it? Are they actually?
No, it wasn't Korriban.
It's not Korriban. Why the fuck isn't it Korriban?
Because you never have the Jedi go to Korriban.
Yes, you do.
No, you don't.
Revan did.
Dark Jedi excluded.
He was okay. My playthrough, he was a Jedi when he went.
Oh, okay. Yes, but he also was a Sith before that. Like, that's a different circumstance, I believe. Because that's the kind of place that, like, it should have that overbearing effect, right?
Yes, it should.
And it didn't seem to.
Like, I would love
like
to see
Korriban does
in outside of the video games.
Sure. One day, David.
No, it won't happen. Just like we're never going to get a Revan movie or TV series.
Or Bane.
We're not going to get anything about Bane. We're not going to get anything about Tulak Horde or Exar Kun or any of the other great Sith Lords or Jedi who turned Sith. Like, if they do an Old Republic TV show, it will not involve Revan.
Or it might reference him.
It may reference him, but you will never see Revan on screen.
No.
You will never see Malik on screen. You will never see the Exile on screen.
Do you really think they want to bring in John Wick as Revan?
They should.
I know, he'd fit it really well.
I would love to see him running around with a purple saber and a red saber. Fucking shit up. Who would not want to see that?
I have concerns about the next story that they're going to tell, because the way the movies tell the stories, I don't think fits the rest of the way. In a sense, it does, but it doesn't. The way that other stories in the Star Wars world are told, like the video games or what have you. Like, yes, you as Revan, or you as whomever. I can't remember what your character's supposed to be in the second one.
You're the Exile.
Yeah, that doesn't mean anything to me.
You were one of the Jedi who followed Revan to the Mandalorian Wars.
But like, you're following your own story because that's what you're playing through. But like, everything is bigger than that.
Yeah, there's more going on than just you.
And in the movies, it's not. It's not bigger than these main characters.
Yeah,
it's the main characters who are the big things.
Yeah, things happen because of these characters. Not there are things happening, and these characters happen to be there.
Yes and no. I would like a more modest story that ended on the great cool stuff, because that's why we're telling this story about this person.
That's a third act thing.
Right, but the first act, like, maybe you're stuck. What planet was that? Not Coruscant. I think it's the second one where you have to go fight Dracula.
Taurus.
Right, you're stuck there. They're stuck there.
I mean, Taurus appears.
And is anybody in any of these movies ever actually stuck anywhere?
I mean,
it seems like there's always an answer. Oh, look, right over there. There's a speeder we can hijack.
Yeah, I mean, that's usually the way it works, so that the story doesn't just end.
Yes, but like, there's this whole like intrigue to the Star Wars universe that isn't used in the movies.
I can't argue that. But
yeah.
Your final verdict.
I enjoyed it. I just saw it, so I'll probably pick it apart later in other episodes we do. But I enjoyed it, and I would enjoy watching it again.
I'm definitely going to buy this one when it comes out. For
me, you never got me the 8 for my collection.
Oh, no, I didn't. You're right. I need to get that. I need to get that for you, and I need to get Rogue One and Solo for John.
I need those too.
Or has suddenly developed a desire for Star Wars things. So
we could use a different Ben's story.
That's the TV show that's coming out.
I'm not sure I like the idea of that.
I am all on board.
Fuck.
But I like him as an actor, so.
Is it?
It's Ewan McGregor.
Oh, I was going to stop it before you said his name.
Yeah. Editor, do the thing.
Don't talk to him. He's a human being, David.
He knows we love
Isn't
him.
he?
Yes. Well, technically, I think he's.
Well, I suppose that's the end of the episode.
Please like, comment, follow, and share. And also, more importantly, thank you for listening.
Take care.
Bye.